Good morning, stamping friends. How's everyone today? My name is Lorri Heiling, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And you know what I'm going to say, I'm always happy to share with you what's going on in my little niche of our house, my craft room here. I am going to be launching my class to go that will be debuting today, and the RSVP deadline is April Fool's Day. So let me share with you a little bit about this class. The stamp set, I know you're going to recognize if you've been around Stampin' Up! For at least a month, you will recognize Darling Donkeys was one of the stamp sets that was offered during Celebration. Isn't that a cute set? It was so fun to create a lot of projects using this stamp set. And I know a lot of you really like this set, but there were so many awesome Celebration choices that you may not have gotten around to getting this stamp set. So when I would put my personal orders in anytime that I'd hit the $50 mark, then I would grab one of these. And so I have enough to offer this class to a limited number, so it's going to be first come, first serve. So let me share with you the details on this class, and like I said, Darling Donkeys will be included with this class. Let's take a look. Let me share the class to go that I'm offering for this coming month. It's called the Darling Donkey Class to Go. You are going to receive these 5 make and takes if you order this. Now remember, I do only have a limited supply of this stamp set, so again, it's first come, first serve. One of these does have a wobble on, which is a little gadget that makes the little donkey wobble, so you can guess which one that is. And then I am going to give you a sneak preview, and I'm going to show you one of the cards. It's this cute little one that has a fence here with a little peephole, and then when you open the card, you can see that he's balancing on his ear here. So that's one of the cards, and everything will be cut out for you. You just have to stamp and color, and let me show you the products that you'll be getting with this class. You will be receiving with option A, the Darling Donkey Celebration Set, which is no longer available for purchase, but I do have some. The Gray Granite Shimmer Ribbon, it's real pretty and it's easy to tie. The Metallic Pearls, which you'll get silver and gold. We're just using the silver ones. They really go well with the Gray Granite. You are also getting the Stampin' Blends in Gray Granite. There's the light and the dark. The color lifter, which is what I use to do some of the shading. It's really a helpful tool, and so you're gonna find that it's a lot easier to get shading with this color lifter, and I do have the video that I just did that shows you how to do that. Then you're also going to get a full pack of white envelopes, and there are 40 in a pack. And then the 5 make and takes. Now, maybe you already own the Darling Donkeys stamp set, but you'd still like to get in on the PDF. You can purchase that for $15. However, there are no make and takes, and it's just the instructions for the 5 make and takes. If you would like the make and takes, then you'll have to purchase option A, and then maybe you can just give away the extra Darling Donkeys stamp set that you would be getting. All right, well, I hope that answers your questions, and don't delay because this will be good until April 1st, or if I sell out, so whichever comes first, and I will keep you updated. I will put the link in my description. Thanks. Today's project, of course, I will be using the Darling Donkey set from Celebration. However, remember, you can't purchase this because that was from Celebration and you had to earn it. But because I have my little stash here, I'm able to offer a class to some people. Again, limited supplies, so it's first come, first serve. So let's get started with the project. The paper that I chose to use with this is called Peony Garden, and this paper will be retiring. Aren't there some pretty prints on here? Oh, I just love Petal Pink with Gray Granite, and it's just a really nice paper pack to work with. So for the base of this card, I like to use basic white because and I use the thicker one. When I do a card base, I just like it thick like a regular cardstock. If you get the basic white in the 40 in a pack, it's not quite as thick as this. So this paper works well for card bases. And what it is it's 8.5 by 4 1/4, and then I scored on the long side at 4 1/4. So this is going to be a square card. So just go ahead and fold on the score line there. And then get your adhesive, and we are going to take a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of the Peony Garden Designer Series paper, and we are just going to adhere this to the front. As I said, this paper is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, so it's going to fit exactly on the card front, the whole size of it. And just add it like that. All right, the next layer, we are going to use gray granite because that's the coordinating color that they show with the paper stack. And this one, let me remeasure just to make sure I give you the right measurements. Ooh, it kind of blends into my background here. This is going to be 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. And for this one, I am just going to add 4 dimensionals in the corners and pop this one up. Now, a lot of people say, well, how do you know? Should you use the larger dimensionals or the smaller ones? It depends on what I'm using. I'm going to use both on this project, and you'll see just for 4 basic corners like this, I just think it's easier to do the larger ones. And we are just going to center this so we have that little border of petal pink floral on the outside. How do you like it so far? Just kidding. All right, the next layer is going to be Whisper White, and I'm guessing I cut this 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. That's right. So we will do another square, but we're not going to put that on yet. Let's build on it. So what you need to do next is we're going to cut out some little squares, and these are the outside with the stitching is from Stitch Shapes, and this is the second to smallest size for the square, and that one is not quite 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then I took a plain square from Layering Squares from that die set, and this square is going to measure about not quite 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. So you need to cut 3 of these out exactly like this, and it's just out of the basic white. Again, you can use either the thick or the regular for this one, it doesn't matter. And then what I did was I stamped 3 of the donkeys, and I'll show which ones. I did 1 of all of them, and just to save some time, I did pre-cut them, and I colored some of them, but one of them I left because I want to show you how I do my blending. So these are the 3 I did. This one is completely done. You can see where I colored him. I used gray granite, light and dark for the blends. And then what I did was these are going to go inside the square. So what I did was I lined up where I wanted it to go, and then I cut off the bottom of them because you don't need the whole thing. You might want to do this first so you don't have to color the whole donkey that you're going to cut off. And then here's another one. Let me just show you how I trimmed it. I'm going to have this one kind of coming out of the window a little bit, about like that. So line it up where you want before we put it down, and then just snip off the bottom and then the side because we don't want it sticking beyond the square. So that's about the size that you want for the second one. And then the third one, I'm going to show you how I blend. Everybody has their own little technique of blending, but I'm going to show you how I do mine. All right, so the last little guy, I don't know why, I like to use my lighter color first, and I'm choosing to color the outside of his ear light, and then the inside of his body is also going to be light. And just color it in. I guess I could use the painted side, but I feel like I have a little more control over the hard side that's more like a marker. And just color that in. You can see I trimmed it off already. I already held it up to see where I wanted to snip it at the bottom. So just go like that. And now for the darker marker, I am going to go inside his ear, and then his nose and chin and snout, I guess, or whatever you call it. And I'm just gonna let that sink in. You'll see when you use blends, it takes a while just to set in. And then I like to make an outline on one side of his body. Usually I'll pick the side that has maybe a little more detail like this thing. And then when I'm done, I'm gonna go back because I want this to be nice and dark. I want it one shade darker. So let's just recolor all those in so there's a difference there. All right, now the magic begins when you try to cover up this line that it makes. You see a real sharp line there. We're just going to blend that a little bit. Okay. And it's still kind of, it's not blending how I want it yet, but I'll show you what the magic trick is. I am going to take, have you used the color lifter? I found this is the secret thing that helps with blending. You're just going to take and go where all those lines are that you want to make a little bit smoother, and it's going to lighten it up and it's going to give you more shading. Okay. And I think I'm going to go back and do a little, whoops, my other pieces are sticking to my blends here. I'm going to go a little bit on this side too. I just want it a little bit darker like that. All right. And then, whoops, now I lost the lid to it. Just take that and blend it like that. All right. So you can make them as dark and light as you like. This one I wanted a little bit lighter because I want it to stand off against that one. So they look a little bit different. All right, now we can put these on the card front. So let me move, oops, I forgot his little rose in here. So let's just use light old olive for the stem and the leaf. And then Miss Matchy Matchy here has to use petal pink for the flower. And maybe that, I guess that's not a rose. That's probably a peony, right? I am not a floral person, can you tell? I know it's not a sunflower. Just kidding. All right, now let's put, let's set these to the side and we're gonna build on here. Now, these, I did put my little dimensionals on the back already. This is when I would use the smaller dimensionals, and all I did was I'll show you my pad. I just cut one row and I cut 1 1/2 because if you use a full mini dimensional, they're still a little bit too wide. So I just put one on each corner, and we're just gonna make maybe like 1/8 of an inch border, not very much. These are gonna be a tight fit on here. So let's do 1, 2, and a third one down here. We're not going to do all 4 of them, and I'll show you why. Now let's put these donkeys inside. So what I'm going to do is flip them all over. I know they're already the right height because remember I measured them on here, and I have a little fleck on here that I'm not sure what that is, but let me take that off. All right, now we're going to use our adhesive foam strips, and I'm so lazy, I just rip them off. You don't, you don't even need to cut them. They come apart pretty easy. And I like to leave the sticky, I put that back on because I put it in a drawer and I don't want it to get all over and pick up everything in that drawer. So I just peel some back, rip it off, put the sticky back on, and we're done with that. These are must-haves in your adhesive drawer. All right, let's start with this guy. Remember I told you I wanted him to be coming out of the shape, out of the square. Let me get his hoof underneath there. Go this way first. All right, so he's gonna be going like, let's put him down a little bit. About like, I want him a little bit shorter. Let me get rid of this hoof. He's too big. You can just keep snipping away at him till he sits where you like. All right, this hoof has to go. He's making me get stuck there. There we go. So I want his hoof coming out because it looks like he's coming out of the little square. Okay, the next one, I guess we'll use him since he's on my finger. And we're going to do the same with him. Put him in here and then have his little ear coming out like that. And the last one is going to be right up here. And because we're using the foam adhesive strip, this is going to pop up even higher than the square. So that's kind of the effect I was after. And it's okay if it sticks higher than that because our card is going to absorb that. All right, now this empty one, we need to add something in there. So what I did was I chose a stamp that is in the stamp set already. It's a one-stop shop. You don't need any more, but if you needed a birthday or something, but I chose to use Hey There Friend because this could go for anyone. Doesn't really matter. And what I'm going to do is stamp this here, and then part of the embellishments that you'll be getting in the class to go are these metallic pearls. You get gold and silver, and we're going to use a silver because it has a little bit of a gray look to it. And I'm going to put 3 of them right down here. I like to offset a little bit, and we'll just fill some of the space a little bit. So 3 right there in a row. And then the last thing we're going to do is stamp. Let's tie in some petal pink here. By the way, I stamped the black in Memento Black. That's the only black you can use with blends. Otherwise, they tend to bleed. And then there's just a cute little, I don't know, like a little star shape or something. And we're just going to add a little bit of pink on here to tie in the pink a little more. That's all it needs. All right, now we're going to flip this over, and let me think. I think I just used adhesive on here. So we're just going to put some on the back here, and we will put this on the front of our card. And you can see that there's just 1/8 of an inch of a border. I like tight fits, but if you prefer a 1/4 inch, just adjust your measurements. And then another item that you will be getting in the class to go is this roll of shimmer ribbon. This is gray granite. And so what I did was I'm just going to tie at the top here. Just needed one more little embellishment here. So, and ribbons, don't worry about it if it doesn't sit right when you tie it, because we can always pull it off and adjust it, turn it upside down. We can putz with it after we're done, but for starters, just do the bow like that. Looks like mine, I'm gonna luck out and it's sitting pretty good on my first try, but if not, I would just pull it off the end, you know, like this, pull it off and turn it around if it looks like it's upside down. And then let's trim the sides down a little bit. And then I'm actually gonna hike it over to the side. Remember I said I like things offset a little bit. So to move it, you just bend your card so there's some wiggle room, and then just put it on the left side like that. All right. Now, if you want, you can put some little glue dots underneath so it doesn't move around. Let's see. I am going to put one. Let me grab those here. My first one I didn't have to, but there's always a way to fix everything. And if it doesn't sit exactly how you want, then you just stick a little glue dot under here, and the ribbon will stick right to it, and that way it'll stay where I want it to. See? Now, this one. There we go. And then lay it flat. All right, that one wants to stay up there, but if I want, oh, I know why, because it needs to come down here. Let me pull it through there. There we go. Now, trim that just a little bit more. That's what was holding it up. Okay, we're done. Now, tell me if you like this. By the way, here's the host code if you want to order anything, but save your time. Just get the class to go. It'll all come in there. So there it is. Hey there, friend. And then if you want to send them in, a lot of times I just leave them empty, or maybe I'd stamp like a little donkey off the side or something. But that's the card front, and I just thought that one was fun. Again, this project will not be in with the class because I already showed you how to do it, but now you can see how you can do some of that blending, and you will get the blends pens in your kit. but you can just go back and watch the video and get all the measurements and easily recreate that. Well, I hope you enjoyed my project today. I look forward to sending these out. Again, the deadline is April 1st, and you guys have a great week. I'll be back again Friday morning for another live video for you. Take care. Bye-bye.